I am not a mother. For some women, this will automatically negate anything I have to say about motherhood, but I will press on anyway. I was terrified of motherhood when I was younger. I had sneaky periods. Now you see them, now you don't. Poof! Off they went for months at a time, trekking through Narnia, I don't know. But my body's strangeness seemed to make it okay for people to say, "You're going to have a hard time having children," as if this was something I should be worrying about in high school. Motherhood seemed like a bitch. All this doing for others, dealing with a needy, demanding individual all the time. The thought of my body literally rejecting it was frightening, but it sometimes provided relief. Then, my frazzled English teacher, my first semester of college, decided to have us read and discuss Motherhood, Who Needs It, by Betty Rollin. Here's a tip, professors of the world. Context is everything. On that day, there was no context to support Rollin's fascinating piece condemning the pressure to succumb to motherhood. Instead, there was a woman in front of me rather obnoxiously mocking women who became mothers, even though she was a mother herself. My first run-in with the Sanctimommy. My choices are better than other mothers. I'm not brainwashed or trapped. I'm above it all. The hell she was. I had had it. To me, motherhood was always a choice. I had grown up in a house full of women. Men made guest appearances, but it was the bond of female solidarity that shaped me as a person. And I was not going to let this woman tell me that my mother was wrong for teaching me about feminism, not by doctrine, but by deed. I have always been pro-choice, pro-equality. I proudly wore the badge of feminism because my family lived in the house that estrogen built. And I never saw motherhood at odds with that. My professor's dismissal of motherhood really pissed me off. I was tired of my body being unpredictable, of merrily skipping along with an obvious reproductive issue because the one time I did go to the gynecologist as a teen, a bee somehow got into the examining room and I swatted at the thing screaming because I was terrified of being stung because I am allergic, and my robe fell open, exposing my breasts. I was tired of living with the shame of being defective. I wanted my freedom of choice back. "What's so wrong with wanting to be a mother?" I said hotly. My professor smirked. She had a live one. "You believe in systematic oppression?" "No, I believe in choice." The entire class was silent. We'd all bitched and moaned about our professor's ridiculous flighty behavior, her unwillingness to entertain differing opinions, her really stupid essay questions, but no one had stood up to her before, not like this. "What choice?" she said. "The choice society tricks us into believing we have? The choices my own body should allow me to make." "How would you know?" "What does that mean?" She rolled her eyes at me. "You're not a mother." "No," I said, punching the table, "but I have a mother, and I know that her sacrifices and accomplishments made me who I am. So don't tell me that being a mother isn't worthy of praise." Class dismissed. I'm glad my professor made us read that essay on motherhood and caused me to defend my position with such force, because now, being a preschool teacher, seeing the demands placed on women and mothers every single day, I completely get it. That piece really opened the gates of the women's movement for me as a movement, and it helped me to examine women in the media with a critical eye. It is a spot-on shattering of the motherhood myth and supports the idea of motherhood as choice as opposed to institution, something my professor could have explored instead of pitting one type of woman against the other. It doesn't matter that the Sanctimommy of today breastfeeds until her kid is in high school and wears her child in a sling all day and turned formula into the most dreaded of F words. It is the haughtiness, the judgmental tone and finger-wagging and tisk-tisking at anyone who doesn't measure up to their version of a mother that informs the Sanctimommy. Rollin's assertion of motherhood as a cult may not have seemed so relevant as I was growing up in the 90s, but today, the criticism is as valid as ever. I see it in the obsession with celebrity babies, blogs devoted to their style and daily lives, covers of tabloids in which the mother presents her child as a trophy. Congratulations, you have extended your relevance with your magical womb powers. I've seen it in the competitive hierarchy of the preschool world, particularly in New York. My child can speak 3 languages. My child knows all the presidents. My child takes gymnastics, ballet, yoga, kindergarten prep classes, and karate. Slow down. There is definitely a problem with the perception of motherhood when Time magazine is showing a kid standing on a chair to suck his mom's breast and the headline screams, "Are you mom enough?" While the New York Times is reporting on the phenomenon of New York parents literally waiting in line to fight for spots in extracurricular activities for their children. I'm sorry, I never want to be that mom enough, and that's my damn choice. I don't know how I would handle the demands of a child with special needs. Could I be approving of a child whose political ideologies differ from mine, who becomes super religious or a Republican? I want so badly to believe in the bond of unconditional love forged by mother and child, but there are so many messages that I can't silence the harsh buzz of demands and advice. They say you're never truly ready to be a mother, but does that mean I should just pop one out because I'm in my 30s and my biological clock is ticking a little bit louder? I don't know if I could go home and be a strong, effective mother after essentially mothering a large group of children all day. I totally get why even stay-at-home mothers choose to have nannies if finances allow. I crave alone time and cringe at the thought of not being able to go to the bathroom without having someone in my face. So what choices do I have? Do I pursue my passions or thrust them upon a child who didn't even ask to be put on this earth? Do I cower at the repressive idiots who toss around terms like feminazi and assume a role that doesn't work for me? Do I let my own feminism stop me from exploring motherhood, or do I embrace it as just another choice? I think I'll just continue being a human being, exploring this world and fulfilling my own needs. If I decide to become a mother, my child and I could grow together, a really beautiful prospect. I would like to think I would be able to let go of my own ego and honor my child without letting that child steamroll all over me until I forget who I am. Maybe I'll breastfeed, maybe not. I kind of like them the way they are. After all, I was bottle fed and I am brilliant. And if I have a daughter, I will make sure she knows to check for open windows in her gynecologist's office.